Furious Driving, proud to be supported by Diamond Bright, protecting, cleaning and caring for the Furious fleet and for yours, with 10% off using code FD10. Follow the links in the description below. Hello and welcome to Furious Driving, and today I bring you something small and peppy. Yes, this is the Kia Picanto GT line. If you love a gin and tonic, you're in the right place, because this is what GT apparently stands for. It might not though, but bear with. And don't forget, if you like reviews of interesting, unusual, small, large, old and new cars, then do hit like and of course subscribe, and check out the enormous back catalogue of previous road tests of all kinds of vehicles, some of them a bit weird. Now, the Picanto has recently been heavily facelifted, giving it an all-new look and feel. And if you didn't already know, this is, of course, the smallest car in Kia's lineup. And it's always been a bit of a peach, a really enjoyable small car, which is a great entry into Kia's range of, well, Kia do things very well, I've got to admit that. There's, of course, a whole range of models within the Picanto lineup. Unfortunately, I just passed a handy voiceover who will fill you in on the details of all of those and this car's specific details. The third generation Picanto has 8 models in the range with 4 trim levels, a 1 or a 1.2 litre petrol engine, 5-speed manual or an automated manual gearbox, and it gets up to 54.3 miles to the gallon. The range starts at the 2 trim level. Fitted with a manual gearbox and a 1 litre engine, that's £15,595 on the road. It goes through the GT line, the 3, the Shadow, and the range-topping GT line S, which hits £19,020 with manual, or you could ruin it with an auto for another £125. Adding premium paint, any of them costs £575. This GT line would be £16,745 plus paint. There's generous kit and safety equipment. All cars get aircon, CarPlay and Android Auto, an 8-inch touchscreen, rear parking sensors and reversing camera, 6 airbags, electronic brake force distribution, stability control, hill start assist, forward collision avoidance, cruise control and, unfortunately, lane keep assist and speed limit assist. The GT Line 3 and GT Line S get LED headlights, and the 3 and GT Line S have got a wireless phone charger. The car is tiny at 3.6 metres long and 1.59 metres wide, but it feels big inside, and with supportive seats and a well-sorted chassis, it's got independent McPherson strut front suspension and torsion beam rear, sharp steering and that sweet snickety gearbox. This is more than just an urban runaround, it's got that grown-up feel for fast roads and long distances, and of course it's very at home on a twisty B-road. But now let's fill you in with a few extra details about what this thing is like to drive and be in. Well, let's start off with the interior. First of all, enormous tea shelf. Want somewhere for your cup of tea, your flask and your sandwiches? You could go further wrong than that, because that's really, really good. Secondly, the equipment. Too many cars these days dump everything on screens and make it really hard to access basic controls. Kia, though, are pretty good at not doing that, and the Kia follows suit. We have, of course, got a screen which is a reasonable size for a car of this size. All right, keep your balance on. But crucially, the basics, your volume, your tuning, your choosing which mode you go into, radio, media, that kind of stuff, it's all on actual buttons. And so is the heating and air conditioning, which is all down here on turny dials, which that's so refreshing. It shouldn't be an exciting point in a car review to say, I could turn a dial to turn the heat up, but I can here, it's fantastic. We've got air conditioning and we've got heated rear window. We haven't got heated seats on this trim level though. But we have got a USB-A and a USB-C and a 12-volt cigarette lighter type socket, and a handy place to stash your phone down there as well, which is right next to a pair of cup holders. Really useful. The steering wheel is a nice chunky thing to hold on to. It's got lovely perforated leather on the GT line. Feels really good. Got a horn. Aww. That's an entry level but still fun to drive part, I think we'll call that. And speaking of things that are fun, check out this surround on the dashboard, on the instruments in front of me. It's a fully digital LCD screen. As we accelerate and do things, we get these concentric kind of going in through the warp drive type rings going around the speed area. Very exciting stuff. So, styling wise, they've done a lot to refresh it and bring it in line with the rest of the Kia range, particularly here at the front, where these big tall headlights really do echo things all the way up to the EV9 at the top of the tree. And interestingly, they've gone for the full front end EV-like look with this LED bar across the front, which I've got to say I do really like. And it's a bit of a gimmick, and it's a bit of 1980s, but the 1980s is a good thing. And in keeping with a lot of the rest of the Kia line, we have got this interesting lower bumper area with these little grills and vents, this black lower mouth area, unlike the bigger cars from the seat upwards where you've got the chrome or satin finish surround tiger mouth thing. This replaces that. We do still have a vestigial shape. And also, kudos to Kia, because they're doing some really cool colours at the moment, from like the flat metallic blue on the EV9 down to this beautiful little kind of, I don't know what you call this shade of green, but it's fantastic. Okay, it is a little bit muted, a little bit National Trust, but I bloomin' love it, and it's better than a grey or a white. Around the back of the car is more of the big car treatment going on, with lots of angles and shapes and things, making the car really interesting. It's the smallest car in the range, but they haven't scrimped on details. For example, the tall lights which go up and across, and you've got the almost all the way across rear tail light strip. Love it. And then down below, that whole shape continues into this lower thing. That could have just been a recessed light, but no, it's a fog light and a reflector and a reversing light, and a bit of detail as well. It's all just there. And because this is the GT line, the gin and tonic version gets this whole extra lower detail area down here, making it look and feel a bit more sporty. Good thing, again. The only thing I'm not loving on the back of the Picanto is the position of the boot opening, because it does collect a lot of grime. There is a reversing camera there as well, you should notice. This gives access to what is an average in class size boot. It's one of those 2-layer boot floor things, so with it raised up in its upper position, it's a nice flat entry but a reduced area. We do have a hidden vast area. To get it into the bottom space, suddenly you increase your load space by about literally that much. 12, 13, 14 centimetres. Never mind swallowing a week's worth of shopping, it'll swallow up a weekend away in bags and things. 60/40 folding seats, and they've got this leatherette finish on them, which is rather lovely too. The seats are this interesting kind of faux leather pleathery stuff with a fantastic little 3-way kind of CND logo stamped in a perforation, which looks really cool. You've got the white highlighting area on the side, so it looks a bit like they've skinned a plastic badger to make them. Looks good, feels good. Fans of reclining in a hurry will note they've got like a release handle rather than a turny wheel to drop the seat backwards, so if you like that kind of thing, this is the car for you. Got a ton of headroom, got a decent amount of elbow room. I think most people will find it easy to get comfortable in this car. Another strong Kia trait is the brilliant manual gearbox. This is only a 5-speeder in this, but it suits well with the little 3-cylinder engine. That all works together really nicely, so well done them. As I've said in other Kia reviews, it's amazing how they always seem to get a nice manual gearbox so right, when premium brands just abandon it and say it's too difficult. So well done, Kia. The engine is a fun and punchy little thing. It shouts away in the front. I'm going to say it probably feels faster than it actually is. We're doing 60 now. It feels brisk enough, but it gets there with such a eagerness. It's like a little yappy puppy that wants to go and play. It's a very enjoyable car. The old Picanto was good. This is just built on that and made it so much. This is just built on that and kept the good things, added a few more niceties. Build quality feels really good. The doors clunk shut nicely and everything feels well screwed together. It feels nice when you touch it. So the Kia Picanto, it's a cracking small car that feels like a big car but handles like a hot hatch. It's got a lot to love about this thing, and of course it's got a fantastic manual gearbox in it still. Tell me what you think about this. Does this suit your needs? Do you prefer this to other things on the road? Let me know in the comments down below. And join me again next time driving something completely different.